Hey guys, I'm back with another video, and today is going to be my Guns and Assignments Review DLC for Dragon's Teeth. I got you guys all the stuff from the DLC, weapon-wise, and the Ballistic shield, and the pistols, and the primaries, you guys know what I mean. So yeah, we're going to start off with the Bulldog today. This Bulldog is one hell of a weapon. It's got decent iron sights, they're similar to the ACWR. The recoil pattern is kinda high. It's got a magazine of 21, including the one in the chamber. The accuracy is pretty good. I love this gun. This gun's really good. This is good for any range, but really long range. I find that it's got really high damage output, but at a range it drops off really quickly. So it's not really good for long range, but it's more of a close range AR. I really like this because of that reason. I really do get into close quarters combat with assault rifles, and they're just usually not the greatest. Like the AK-12 with low damage output. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the Bulldog. We're gonna move on to the next weapon. The next weapon is the Deagle. Now, this is my favorite thing in this entire DLC. I'm pretty sure it's yours. I'm pretty sure it's everyone's favorite. This gun is awesome. It's so good. It feels good. It's a fan favorite from past Call of Duties. It's a gun well known to everybody in the public. The iron sights are alright. The recoil pattern is high. The magazine count is 9 with one in the chamber. And the accuracy of this weapon is really good, as you guys can see here. It's got very low weapon drop. It is like a 44 Magnum, but with a little bit less damage. It's got the same gun sound, which is kind of recycled, but it's dice. Again, expected, but it's still a good weapon. The gun sound doesn't really make it a difference. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the Deagle. The Deagle, I know, is a fan favorite. Everyone loves this weapon. Everyone told me to use it, so I grabbed it, and I went for this one first. I had to get the Unica 6 first, which is coming up later, but the next weapon is going to be the MPX. Let's move on to that weapon right now. Alright, so the MPX, it's got decent iron sights. They're not the greatest thing in the world. I wouldn't use them. I'll definitely put the red dot sight on. That's the attachment you get from killing people. That's one of the ones not from the battle pack. The recoil pattern is really high. The magazine count is 26 with one in the chamber. The hipfire is probably the only good thing about this weapon. I don't really like this weapon. It's not the greatest PDW. I would still definitely use a PDWR or the UMP45 over this one. It's not the greatest thing, but yeah, you can see the hipfire is really good right there. So yeah, that's pretty much my opinions on this gun. The gun has a really high fire rate, which is good for bullet, but the mag is not the greatest. It's a pretty small mag, not good for high fire rate. It's like a FAMAS. I can't use a FAMAS just because of the high fire rate and the low magazine size. But yeah, the MPX, not a good gun. Wouldn't recommend trying to go for it. It's really hard to get for some reason. Squad order follow ribbons, not ribbons, but like the bonus is really hard to get. So yeah, let's move on to the Unica 6, the weapon you have to use to get the Deagle 44. So the Unica 6, a very interesting pistol. It's kind of a mix of a compact 45 and a 45 and a Magnum. Yes, a Magnum. It's got a decent recoil. The recoil is not the highest. Sometimes it bugs out and doesn't show recoil, which is kind of weird. It's got a magazine size of, I believe, 7 with one in the chamber. No, 6 with there's none in the chamber because it's a revolver. So yeah, the damage output on this is pretty high. It's a one-shot headshot at a good range like the Deagle. The Deagle's a one-shot headshot at a farther range than this one. It's kind of weird because you gotta get 20 headshots with this weapon to get the Deagle. Pretty much a weapon I think everyone is going to dislike because they have to use it and have to dread it for 20 headshots to get the Deagle, which is something everyone is pretty much going for. I just die by it a lot because everyone just goes for it only, for the Deagle only. But yeah, this gun was pretty good. I did enjoy it. The iron sights are pretty good. The recoil pattern, like I said, is not the highest, but it's not the lowest either. It's pretty good for a pistol. I did have troubles using this thing when it came to medium range, long range, even close range. Sometimes this thing lost. I win gunfights more with the Deagle, so yeah, it's not really a good pistol. But let's move on to the next piece of equipment. Alright, so the Ballistic shield. Something that not many people were expecting. This shield is really good. It's not really the greatest at blocking bullets. I get shot from above, or like a little piece of my leg or butt is sticking out because I got a big booty. But yeah, it's pretty weird. I think there was a bug with it. I think they patched it by now. Today or yesterday there was an update for this shield because the glass kept breaking when you spawn, and it was a weird bug they had with it. But it's pretty useful and fun. I do enjoy running this sometimes with my friend, having some fun with it. It's good for blocking bullets sometimes, and explosives it's really good. It takes about 30% of the explosive. Don't take my word, it's not raw stats, it's just my opinion, because I do still take a lot of damage from grenades when I'm looking directly at them. RPGs, they don't one-shot me when I'm looking right at the explosive point of the RPG, where the RPG impacts the ground or a wall. I have about 13 health left after that explodes, so it's still, it's not the greatest, but it's fun to use. It's a load of fun. I like running this thing with the Deagle and MG4 because it's just a bullet hose MG4. It's fun to use with this thing. You just pull out your Deagle, whip it out, and kill someone. Throwing grenades is not recommended when holding this thing because you do expose yourself a lot when throwing a grenade, and it does take a long time to throw a grenade. But yeah, overall the Ballistic Shield is really fun to use. I would definitely recommend trying to go for it. It's not that hard. And yeah, let's move on to the final weapon, which is the CS5. Alright, so the CS5 is a really weird sniper. It's got a really high bullet drop for some reason. I took out the suppressor in this gameplay to show you guys its full, like, its extent of range, I guess. Is that, so you could say I totally misused that word, but yes, this thing has a magazine size of, I believe, 9? Don't quote me on that. I think it's 9. But it's really good. It's not good, but it's fun to use. I really have fun using this weapon. This weapon is really fun to use. I wouldn't recommend using it over like Gall Magnum or something like the SR because those snipers are definitely better. They're easier for headshots. This one drops over a shorter range and it's actually god-awful for range. But it's still fun to use. It's got high ammo capacity, which is also good. You can also take out bunches of people with this weapon. So yeah, that's pretty much it for my weapon review, guys. Please leave a like, subscribe, and comment what you thought on today's video, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.